So this job has not gone well. So what I'm going to etch with is this. It's 36% hydrochloric acid. You really don't want to get this stuff on you or in your eyes or anything like that. It would not do you a lot of good. You can buy etchants, commercial etchants, you know, anything from like 5 litres up to 25 litres, probably more. They're quite expensive, they're like 25 quid, whereas I think this was 11, including shipping. The commercial etchants that you buy are essentially acid with some sort of surfactant in it, and they do that because they're designed to be used on, say, a garage floor which has seen some dirt and oil and whatnot, so it lifts the dirt and oil and then etches the floor. Now this is a brand new concrete floor, so it's spotlessly clean. I've been making sure that, you know, if I do walk around on there, my shoes are clean before I do, so I don't need the surfactants. I think I can get away with just a regular just hydrochloric acid mix to etch the floor. In here I've got 2 of these, so that's like 8 pints. Yeah, I know, everything in the UK has gone metric apart from milk. So there's 8 pints. I'm going to put 2 pints of acid in there to make up a 4-to-1 mix. I don't know what commercial etchants are. The best I can find is that they're not terribly concentrated. So I'll make up a 4-to-1 mix here, spread it all over. If it etches, brilliant. If it doesn't, I'll make up a stronger mix and try again. It doesn't take long to mix up. So I've got to I'll half fill this with acid. I've got a stick to stir the acid with, because you add the acid to the water to help prevent hot spots, and you mix as you go to just again stop hot spots appearing. What you don't want is it boiling and acid going in your eyes. Right then, so I'm back. I've got a funnel now because this doesn't look like it's going to pour very well. I've also trapped this between a couple of bricks to stop it blowing over because it's a little bit windy today, and you do not want to be at home to Mr. and Mrs. cock up. This is cold water, don't use hot water. It's quite exothermic when you mix strong acid with water. So you want to do everything you can to avoid heat, basically. Add a little bit and then stir it. The good thing about diluting it as well, you don't get many fumes off it. The fumes they really attack you with the membranes in your nose. Just give that a little bit more of a stir, and then we'll call that done, and I'll start etching the floor. What I'll do, I'll put this in the workshop, and then I'll get some water and I'll wash this out, wash that out, wash the funnel out, wash that brick off, just spread a bit of water about the place. That will reduce the concentration, reduce the danger. So I feel safe enough now that this, I'll just wear regular glasses rather than a full face mask. So in an ideal world, I do this with a broom. But I can't seem to find a broom, so I'm going to use this dustpan brush. I've always got loads of dustpan brushes, I'll break the pan and never break the brush. So let's go, let's see if this is concentrated enough. Well, you know, it's only off the brush. Oh yeah, that's going to do it. Once it goes in. Oh yeah, that's going to work a treat. it's all etched. You can see it's already drying out of there. Slight colour change. But, I've got the side door open, the window open, and this door open as well, so hopefully it'll dry pretty quickly. Turns out the amount I made up, we made up about 5 litres of acid, and it was pretty much spot on the right amount. Anyway, no accidents. A couple of blisters on my right hand from brushing with that dustpan brush. It's a bit of an uncomfortable handle on that. But yeah, if the worst I'm getting is a couple of blisters, then I reckon I've come out of that pretty safely. There's a couple of splashes I got on my top, and I noticed. Oh, here you go. See if I can show you. Yeah, they're going lighter. So I think I'll end up with a couple of holes in my top. That's it reminds me of a story. When I was a kid, me and a friend had cycled way out into the middle of nowhere, up by the local tip actually. It was about 10 miles outside of town, and we found an old truck battery, I think it was. It was really big lead acid battery, and we didn't. I mean, we couldn't have been old. We must have been like 12, 13 or something. And we didn't know what it was, so we ripped the top off it and kicked it over. And of course, all the sulfuric acid poured out all over the road and started eating the road. We're like, oh my god, what's going on? So we kicked the battery over, and of course, we kicked the battery over into the puddle of acid, and it sprayed all up me. How? I don't know how, but I didn't end up with any on my skin. But I did end up with it all over my jeans, and yeah. After they came out of the wash, there was holes all in them. It looked like they'd completely turned to Swiss cheese. I don't know why it didn't eat through it before it was washed, but yeah, it wasn't until it had been through the washing machine that it ate it. But yeah. So I learned a valuable lesson about acid that day. And then of course I went on to be a chemist, so I played with lots of acids, and I've ended up with, yeah, I have actually breathed in hydrochloric acid in the past, burnt all the inside of my nose out, because I didn't know what it was. I was boiling at the time, and well, I'd forgotten or something like that, and I sniffed it, and yeah, ended up with hydrochloric acid vapour up my nose, and I can tell you that hurts. Yes, I've spilt nitric acid, concentrated nitric acid on myself, and not noticed, and you end up with this yellow patch of skin, and it then flakes off. It's a bit like I don't know. It's a bit like a yellow scab, I suppose. It's pretty grim, and the wound takes a really long time to heal. Yeah, so. I don't think I've had any particular mishaps with sulfuric acid. I've made hydrofluoric acid. Yeah, that was vacate the area. That's nasty stuff. Yeah, a few others, but yeah. Anyway, I think the floor is etched now, so time to get on. Well, it's a couple of weeks later. The floor is etched, fully etched. It's perhaps not as etched as it could be, but it's good enough, I think. I've cleaned off the floor as well. We mopped it down and used a wet and dry vacuum cleaner to get up any dirt, which, yeah, I mean, it got up a reasonable amount of dirt. The floor's now pretty clean. I've vacuumed it twice, so there shouldn't be too much grit in it. And over here, you can see we've got some paint. And earlier on today, I started painting, and I've stopped because I've screwed it up. Look at that, surface of the moon. Great going. So I'm not quite sure what went wrong there. I suspect I've gone and screwed it up by getting a bit carried away while mixing the paint. There was, I've actually had the paint for a couple of months, and it's just been sitting there, and there was quite a lot of stuff at the bottom and solvent at the top, and so I gave it a damn good whisking with the whisk that you can see just there. And I went sort of up and down with the whisk, and I think I pushed air down into it and then mixed it all about. So I'm going to give it, I don't know, a week for the paint to settle out, and then I'll try again. Right. So tomorrow's turned into today, and the bit of paint that I applied yesterday is now set. Easily hard enough to walk around on, which is great. In fact, I could walk around on it last night if I was a bit careful, but today it's proper hard. But we do have the bubble issue, and I can't tell, well, I couldn't tell yesterday if it was me whisking it, whisking the paint too fast, stirring the paint too fast, or if it was something in the concrete or something with brush, or I don't know. But I think, well, some of the bubbles at least are due to tiny little divots in the concrete. Because if you look at this bubble, if you burst it ever so carefully, you can see underneath there is a little hole in the concrete, just a little drop. And I think what's happened is the paint has formed a skin over the concrete, and then the bubble. And I'm guessing the paint must be trying to push it down into the hole, or drip down into the hole, and that's causing the air to come up, and it's forming a bubble. Yeah, see, look, yeah, it's quite a sizable hole there in the concrete, you know. So yeah, I don't know. I think that's what's happened. Now, the smaller holes that you can see all around here, well, I can't really tell, but I would guess they correspond to just like little sand holes. So being a good scientist, what I've also done is in this area here, between these two marks, I've overpainted the bit that was painted yesterday. And if you zoom in on that, this overpainted area, as you can see, is much, much better. Certainly where we've put it on relatively thick up here, there's no sign of the bubbles. Down this end, in this sort of area where I haven't put it on quite so thick, you can still see the bubbles, or at least the craters. I mean, what I did was just went over it with a almost dry brush and got rid of all the crater heads, and it seems to have fixed it. Certainly the finish up this end, the finish up this area is good enough for me to accept. I wouldn't worry if it was all like that. That's more than good enough. So maybe it was me mixing the paint, maybe it wasn't. I don't know. At this point, I can't tell really whether it was me mixing the paint a bit too aggressively, or if it's just air trapped in those little pockets coming out of the cement. I'm inclined to think it's the cement. You know, I think it's little pockets in the cement. I haven't seen anybody mention this, and I have done a reasonable amount of research about this. This is something I really didn't want to screw up, so the fact it's gone wrong is a bit irritating. But I haven't seen anybody else mention this problem except when they've overmixed the paint or when they've got water trapped in the cement, and I'm sure there's not water in this cement. You know, this cement's been down, well, it went down November last year, October, November last year, and it's had a dehumidifier in here for 6 weeks, 8 weeks. So, you know, and the dehumidifiers aren't really pulling out much more water now, no more than you'd expect to just get naturally through the building. So it's not a moisture problem, I'm sure of that. I don't think it's reacting with anything in the cement, because you know, all I've done is acid etched it, and that would react with the cement if there was any left, and I've washed it anyway, which is beyond. And the washing I left it 2 weeks with a dehumidifier after the washing, so it's not water from that. So don't know. Must just be the bubbles forming from craters in the cement. But you know, pretty good. The bit that I've overpainted is looking good, and all of the bit, even with the bits with craters, has adhered to the floor really tightly. So I think we're good to go. Yeah, we're good to go. We're good enough. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more workshop videos, and don't forget to share and like. If you have any thoughts or suggestions, please leave a comment below. Bye till next time. You do not want to be at home to Mr. and Mrs. Cock-up. There we go. So this job has not gone well.